I'll try this. So kayaking in the Australian wilderness, or even the remote part of your local waterway, and you are surrounded by a vast living presence. The trees. That phrase, the trees, doesn't adequately convey the immensity of this seeming vastness of unusual life. So you paddle along contemplatively, looking for a decent snag to cast at, and a thought slowly pops into your mind. Do these vast silent multitudes hear or perceive you as you're passing? Could they have a consciousness or sentience? Well, in the fantasy realms of Terry Pratchett's Discworld and women's monthly magazines, they are portrayed as understanding you. But we humans have a capacity for sensations or experiences. Stub your toe and you feel pain. The pathways for sensation and awareness are through vast electrical networks created by specific types of cells called neurons. Our brains are constructed from neurons and glial cells. Now, there is no evidence for structures such as neurons, synapses, or a brain in plants. Trees don't have brain cells, so consciousness and awareness is not possible. Talking to a tree could be like talking to your lawnmower in terms of comprehension and communication. Though I do often talk to my lawnmower. Still, if you talk to your plants, that is good mental health therapy. If your mower, on the other hand, is the only thing you talk to, then please, I beseech you, seek some serious professional help. Glorious mysteries, though, still surround trees. How does something without sentience or consciousness procreate? You know, where do baby trees come from? And more importantly, how do they convert CO2 to oxygen? Well, to be honest, with regard to the first mystery of reproduction, not having sentience or consciousness doesn't prevent, for example, bogans from breeding. So that is not as mystical as the trait of converting CO2 to oxygen. Oxygen. It doesn't just come in a bottle. Do we actually think about this magical process of trees making it? Yes, we love trees for shade, for the aesthetic vistas they can create, and for their ability to raise the property value of our investment. But actually, most people have no idea as to how they work in terms of planetary, life-giving oxygen production. It just happens. It's magic. No, it's not magic, but the biochemical ingenuity is breathtakingly, jaw-droppingly magnificent. You could describe it as mystical. And let's just wrap it up into mystical. And talking of mystical trees, well, I declare, bugger Bono and you two with their stupid Joshua tree. We have the glorious Cartagee tree. A digression. While I'm talking about trees making life-giving oxygen, look. Now, this isn't for those who understand what I'm about to digress on. It's for all the mutant drongos and nongs who don't. And it's about future generations being able to go fishing on a livable planet. Wilderness fishing amidst the trees. So we are on this tiny, tiny planet. A planet which is actually a minuscule splinter of a spacecraft hurtling through that vast, death-dealing, inky blackness of space. And yes, space has more ways to kill us humans than there are grains of sand on a beach. This spacecraft is important. It keeps us all alive. But us being who we are, intolerably selfish and arrogant humans, what are we doing? Trying to F up the intricately complicated and ultimately fragile life support system of this spacecraft by throwing a bloody big blood-soaked spanner at it. Ultimately, that means no fishing in the future. Actually, it means no future, period. Though the voices of corporate ideology claim this catastrophe is a daydream, and the scientists are just irrational, alarmist dolts who make stuff up. How flat does the corporate media think the Earth is? At least the trees are making an effort to maintain life. It's now about time we made an effort as well, so that wilderness fishing is sustained. And you can get out there in a kayak and experience weirdness like an octopus firing great gouts of water at you. So, I've landed a fish, I'm sorting it out. I had 2 lures out. My other lure with very sharp hooks is floating about 30 metres away. Those very sharp hooks are connected to my line.
You're gonna get caught in the line. Hang on. Oh, crap, I must have hit a cow.
Don't get me started on majestic rocks.